All right. Good evening. Welcome, everybody, to the AI Laboratory. I am Daniel, your host. If you're new here, this show is all about one thing, which is solving real problems using AI. So, the entire thing is meant to be a live experiment where we fiddle around and find out and try out some different tools, but to try and come up with some type of solution so that we can create a viable product. So, some of it's going to go well, some of it will go poorly, but that's all right. We're in a laboratory, we're going to do some experiments. So, with that, if anybody else has tried ChatGPT Claude and you've gotten some mediocre results, this is the show for you. Essentially, each week we're gonna go ahead and dive into a problem and try and figure out how to use it. We're gonna come up with a variety of different tools out there, sample some more of what's out there on the internet, and try and come up with a viable product. So everything that we're gonna be using today is generally the free version. So hopefully you'll get something of value out of this one. Like for me, I'm still learning a lot of this, but this is meant to help drive my own learning, and I hope it helps you too. So before we jump in, I'm going to invite you to go ahead and hit like and subscribe. This way that these videos can reach a wider audience. And if you really enjoy it, hit the subscribe button, and I'll be seeing you each week starting on Friday evenings. Also, if you are interested in actually having a question and going on the podcast with me, I'd be happy to have you as a guest. So in the comments and the description section, you will find a Google Forms link. You can submit your questions, and if I like what I see, I'll send you an invitation and you can join me live on the podcast. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our problem today. So I have a pet project that I've been wanting to do for a while now, and I'm going to create a comic book. So this one's going to come with a few caveats, like it's going to be all done with AI, and I'm going to take real photos and have them converted over into a comic book style, and then use that to actually produce the actual comic book and do multiple frames so we can have at least 4 pages worth of a comic book, and we're going to try and pull this off in just about 1 hour. So wish me luck. I don't expect it to go perfectly. I totally expect there's going to be some continuity errors, like clothing that doesn't match from frame to frame. I'm totally going to accept that on this first go around. But if I can come up with a relatively good continuity from one story pane to the next, all the way throughout the comic book that we make, I'll be very happy with the product. All right. So yeah, basically we're going to go ahead and create original story, original characters based off of a real photo, okay, some dialogue, some action, and try and come up with a nice professional layout. So with that, let me go ahead and jump on over into the project itself. So let me pull up on the stage the AI laboratory. So I've got a couple different tools here that we're going to go through today. So I've got ChatGPT and I've got Claude. These are our chatbots that we can use to try and come up with some prompts to help make this process go smoothly. Next up, I've got PicsArt. So essentially you can drop pictures into it and have it generate a alternate version if you like. I haven't really played around with this tool enough, but you also have an AI image generator through Leonardo.ai. So I'm going to intend to use both PicsArt and Leonardo to generate the pictures that we're going to use inside of this comic book. And finally, to put it all together, I'm going to go switch over to Canva. So we'll take all of our pictures, load it up into a Canva template, and hopefully we can make it into a really smooth and beautiful comic book. So that's hopefully what we're going to pull off today. So let's go ahead and begin. We're going to jump on over to, let's start with Grok this time, and we'll go ahead and start generating prompts to be able to help create the pictures that we want for this comic. So I've done a little bit of homework up front, but I haven't really gotten the results from that homework. So wish me luck. Hopefully it turns out pretty good. All right, so here I'm going to go through my prompts. So I'm going to go start at the very top. Whenever you're designing a prompt, there is a couple steps that are very useful to you to help create a reliable action and good results from your prompts. So first up, number one, you want the role, define what role you want the AI to take. Number two, the task that you are giving the AI to accomplish. Three, which is pretty similar, which is the output. What is the actual stuff you want your AI chatbot to generate? So this is the final things that come out. And then four is going to be the conditions for success. So with that, you want to make sure that the AI understands what right looks like. And additionally, if you want to go to the very bottom, one thing I'd love to always include on all of my items, so item number 5 is going to be ask me questions until you are confident you can accomplish this task. In general, I'm giving it about 90% confident because I don't want to answer 40, 50 questions. So let's just go with this for now. So to give you a quick summary, I am giving the Grok to take on the role of an experienced comic book creator and with experience with artificial intelligence. The task is to design a series of prompts to create scenes for a comic book that can be imported into Canva and to create a 4-page printable comic book that will comply with the conditions for success. So let me go ahead and fix my own spelling errors. All right. So again, the output, I want to prompt to utilize Leonardo AI to use the likenesses of men and women from uploaded files. All right, cool. I'm going to go copy that so I can save this as well. So basically, here you go. There's some sample text that'll go into it using the realistic, gritty world of The Walking Dead. So I'm going to be creating a zombie apocalypse story that's going to be set like 5 years in the future with a lot of other extra details, a bunch of slow-moving zombies. So you got 627, summertime, some foreshadowing of our marauders in the distance, big bridge, all these things that are going to be useful. Well, all right. I think I accidentally double pasted this. So I'm going to go delete this extra stuff here and highlight it all and copy it. So now I'm going to go ahead and upload some prepared photos. So I'm going to drag some photos from off the screen, drag these into here, throw these photos in. Boom, I've got 4 people that are thrown in there. And let's go ahead and put Grok to work. Now let's go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to go over to ChatGPT. I'm going to go copy and paste that entire looks like the paste turned out pretty poorly. Let me go back to my conversation with Grok. I'm going to go rewind at the very top. Oh, looks like it double took. All right, let me go fix my mistakes. No worries. So I'm going to go over to ChatGPT. I'll go ahead and paste the first part. I'm going to go back to Grok and I'll paste the rest of it. All right. Silly mistakes. It happens when you try and copy and paste too much. Let me go ahead and drag these pictures into ChatGPT as well. I can only upload 3 files at a time. Oh, tragic. All right, uploading 3 files. Oh, no. All right, well, let's go ahead and just reload ChatGPT. If you ever have a problem, turn it off, turn it back on. All right, looks like all the information stayed. Let me try and drag the pictures in. All right, now it's actually taking the pictures. Great. And I'm going to go ahead and submit. Since I want to be able to throw in a 4th picture, I'm going to go ahead and drag that in now. And then I'm going to go ahead and add this photo to the collection. So I'm going to go ahead and stop it and then all right, add this photo to the collection and restart the previous prompt. I'm out of uploads. Upgrade ChatGPT. Oh no, crap. Looks like I can't use ChatGPT today. Oh man. Well, we can always try and see if we can switch over to another one real quickly. So with this, let's go on over to Google Gemini. Google Gemini. So yeah, I've been using AI too much for the free accounts. At some point, I'm going to have to start doing upgrades. So let's go ahead and paste this bad boy in here. I'm going to get the task. Take on this role. All right. So I've got the role, the task, the output, and all that conditions. Let's go ahead and get these 4 photos dragged over as well. Add the photos. Great. So let's go ahead and all right. Thinking. Thanks to complex topics. All right, we'll make this a thinking model. All right, so Gemini, get to work. Let's see what you can do. All right, Grok's had some time to work, so let's see what it came up with. 28 seconds. How many pages? Oh, no. All right, how many pages or panels do I envision for this thing? Okay. Well, I have some previous notes from this one, so let me see if I can actually come up with answers. All right. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and plan for 46 panels per page. All right, let's see. Looks like they've got some information that they want for specific names and survivors. All right, scene involves a snowplow. The universe is hot. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and paste in a lot of information. So I'm giving names to everybody, like what exactly is going to happen with it. So, all right. So this is stuff I'd like pregame beforehand. So let's see what they're asking for. What exactly is going on? Scenes of working snowplow. How does it fit in the story? All right, panel layouts, compositions and minds. Use dialogue in most scenes. All right, dialogue. Okay, cool. So I answered some questions. Hopefully it'll be able to upgrade and continue on with the conversation, and hopefully it won't have any more questions. 4-page comic book plan, luring the horde, overall style, prompts. Looks like it's still thinking and working through the problem. All right, well, while it's working, page 1, wide shot, panel 1. All right. Now, is this a prompt? I don't think it's actually giving me what I'm looking for. Like, this is a good start, but all right, well, I'll let it keep working for a minute. Let's talk to Google Gemini. Project, love the Walking Dead aesthetic you're going for. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Mouse and continuity. I strongly recommend adding the speech bubble and text activity inside Canva. Perfect controller, font, and placement. All right, a prompt for Leonardo.ai. All right. Negative prompt 3. Interesting. Clarifying questions. Design the 4-page comic book. Universe conditions are met. Okay. Character mapping and gear. All right, so we'll start with 1. Ashley is a medic. Sidearm. She's a medic with a sidearm on her leg. Joel is the leader. All right, utility style, pleasant clothing. All right, how about this? Johnson can ditch the steampunk. Uses glasses. All right, Daniel has a machete and a rifle. All right. All right, so it's asking about the snowplow. All right, cool. We need to get some more details in that snowplow. Got some pre-save stuff. I'll go ahead and for number 2, snowplow. It's got an armor to protect the driver. All right, narrative. Cool, it's asking for the narrative. I'll take this information right here from my previous post. I'll go ahead and drop it in here. 3, throw on what's going on. And then panel structure. Okay, so how do we want to actually import this? So 4. I'll import one photo per panel. Likeness strategy. Okay. Likeness strategy. We referenced the photos previously submitted only. All right, cool. Hopefully that'll be enough. So I've set up all the responses to the questions that Gemini just asked me. Let's go ahead and jump back over to Grok. All right, so Grok gave a whole bunch of stuff. For gutters and captions desired. All right. Generate each panel individually in Leonardo.ai. Thank you. Using the exact prompt text above, copy and paste, uploading the 4 reference images and enable strong character reference for continuity. Cohesive, printable 4-page comic. All right. Sweet. So it's telling me to copy and paste this whole thing. I don't know. So not entirely certain that this is exactly what I should be copying and pasting. So give me the exact All right, give me the exact prompt you want to copy and paste into Leonardo AI. So I wasn't entirely certain that it had already given me the exact prompt to copy and paste. So let me verify. Okay, so it looks like it's got several different prompts. To achieve maximum continuity for references and universal settings in Leonardo AI. All right, so this is some good instructions. Let me set the preamble. All right. Okay, it looks like I've got something I can import properly. So a whole bunch of different panels. I have the ability to copy each one, so it's set a very easy one. Generated one at a time with the same character reference applied for all for best continuity. All right, cool. I think I've got enough right here to start working with. So thank you, Grok. This is useful. Let's see what Google Gemini's got for us. All right. Experienced comic designer, broken down script 4-page layout, critical instructions for workflow. Image guidance is key for panels, feature specific characters. You must load the reference. Okay, that's fine. All right, so they hire strictly to their facial features. That's fine. The universe block. Okay. There's a glue that holds the visual continuity together. Great. Canva assembly. Try not to generate text bubbles in AI. These prompts are raw artwork only. Cool. I'm happy with that. All right. So sweet. I've got prompts. All right. So I've got a couple different ones I can work with. So I've got all the information. So I've asked Grok, I've asked Gemini, and they have given me all the prompts I need to copy and paste into Leonardo. And we'll go ahead and give this one up. So here's the Leonardo website. I'll go through and I hit launch app. And now I'm at the Leonardo app. So we're going to go ahead and let's go figure out how to use this bad boy. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this information here. So let's see, for Leonardo, I'm going to go ahead and add in some images. I'm going to drag my 4 images over here. Whoop, no, that did not go as planned. So that's the pictures that we're going to be including into it. Uh-oh. Let me go reopen close tabs. No. All right. All right, so we go back to our launch app and try this bad boy again. Add a reference image. All right, now we'll try it this way. Got my 4 reference images. Image guidance. All right, so I've got my image guidance. I can pull out of here, use exact prompts. How do I set up my configurations? Boy, maybe I should have done some homework on this one first. My more options are. Currently on a free plan, I can't really do a whole lot of extra, but no, I tell you what, let's just get it started. All right. Let's start it this way. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this in here into the prompt. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to go ahead and copy panel 1.1. All right, let's see what it generates. Generating. So first one, black and white, have ink set. So inside a dimly lit barn, scattered tools and open door showing fortified compound in the background. Tavia, blonde woman with a ponytail, likeness reference, wearing dirty overalls. All right, cool. So decent start. Hey, Tavia is coming from the truck. That's cool, but all right. Okay, I can work with this. Let's go ahead and try this again. And let's get rid of the black and white line art. Let's go ahead and generate another one. Uses 40 tokens. I'm kind of curious how many tokens I've got. Probably not that many. So either way, we're going to come up with something. It'll either come out well or it won't. This image might be explicit. Oh dear. Close your eyes. Nope, we're looking good. Just fine. Okay. I can work with this. It's still black and white, but for now, I'm not going to fight this one. Let's go ahead and jump back over and we'll generate some more images. Panel 1-2. All right. No, don't. Stop. I'm trying to. All right, let's see. All right, let's go ahead and try this generating. Oh no, I don't have tokens. Crap. So we'll go through it. Let me do 3. That's unfortunate. Let's go ahead and pull my 4 reference images into here. Nope, still didn't work out. Something went real long. Reload. PicsArt. All right, let's go ahead and assistant. All right, let's try this bad boy out inside of a different one. So we'll go ahead and copy this information. We'll try it into the PicsArt. We'll go ahead and get rid of the black and white. And then I'll go try and pull up the next panel. I don't know if it's actually going to work. It's probably going to tell me to go find this tool. Try the 7D trial. Yeah, no, I don't want to. Oh dear. Well, this isn't quite working the way I was hoping it. All right, I'm uploading. Draw. Nope, that is definitely not what I'm looking for. So PicsArt, I'm afraid you're not going to work out for me today. So Right now, I've kind of ran out of options for Leonardo. I'm not going to be able to generate it anymore today. So let me try and find an alternative way of getting this done. So I've got 3 sample ones for the first frame. All right, Grok, we're going to put you up to the test. I'm going to ask it to try and generate a panel for 1-1. Let's find out. Maybe Grok will do it. Hey, this is even better. Grok, you're actually doing pretty nice. All right. Okay. All right. I can deal with this. So let me go ahead and just take this. I'm going to go ahead and copy. There's Tavia right there. I'm going to go ahead and copy panel 1-3. Oh, God, no. Okay, 1-3. All right. So continuity just went out the window, but that's fine. I can work with that. All right, so I'll ask it to generate 1-4, please. Let's see what happens after 1-4. All right, looks like it looks like I'm just going to keep going all the way down to the very last one. All right, generate 2-1. So Grok is actually kind of impressing me. Like when it comes to artwork, comic styles, like it's generating pictures quite well. It's going to have some continuity errors, like why is this rifle just floating in the air? But honestly, not too bad for like trying to generate the first intent. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of zombies. All right, let's go generate panel 2-2, please. So it looks like I'm getting at least 2 different samplings of each of the comics. Nice. So our 2-2, 2-3, 2-4. Oh, conk. Well, it's getting their attention for sure. All right, so we're going through, we're making a whole bunch of artwork. This is moving at a pretty good pace. All right, generate panel 2-5. I'm really curious about how these bridges are built and set up, and because my intent is to like drive over the bridge. Here we go. Okay. All right, 2-5. I don't know how we got 2 different trucks in this one. Like, why is this person in bed? I'm so confused. All right, let me just ask it to generate another 2-5. All right, so with this, we'll have a redesigned panel 2-1, or sorry, 2-5. All right, so after 2-5, that should be panel 3-1. 3-1 through 3-5. Oh, 3-6. 3-1. All right, let's see. Go down to the very bottom. See if it's finished generating. Cool. Generate panel 3-1. All right. This one seems a little bit more practical, except for one zombie. Like all the zombies are shooting back. What is going on? All right. The zombies are in front of the truck instead of behind it, so I might have it do 2-5 again. Grok is under heavy use right now. Please try again. Try again soon. Oh no, I've run out of my maximum usages for now since it's under heavy usage. All right, so let's go ahead and continue this project using Gemini. Like, how can I do this the cheap way and do it for free? All right, so I'm gonna have Gemini attempt to generate images for panel 3-1. All right. Let's see. Horse shift directions following the bridge stand. All right, cool. Shot at the art style. We'll find out. So I heard good things about the Nano Banana. We'll see. Hopefully they'll be able to come up with something pretty nice. So Grok was able to make images of really good quality, though poor continuity, and really not intelligible of like how real world physics operates. So high artistry, low intelligence for Grok on that one, but it's really fast and really nicely done. But let's find out how Gemini is doing, because it looks like it's taken a little while. Thinking now, Nano Banana Pro. All right. Snowplow is going the wrong direction in this one. This one might be able to make more sense, except for I don't have anybody in the back shooting at them. All right. Let's have it try it again. But I do like the artwork. It was actually looking pretty good. In the bed of the snow. All right, let's try it this way. So we're modifying it again. Asking Gemini to try it one more time. So in this one, it actually does have a bed for the snowplow. It's actually, I like the snowplow design. This is pretty good. Looks like there's even some armoring and slats. So this is like pretty much a dump truck with a big old iron plow on the front. So this is really good, except for I need people in the back of it shooting at the zombies and the truck pointing the other direction. For this one, it's a good setup, but wrong snowplow, no people in the back. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump out of that one. Hey, it's trying again. Thinking slow. Hey, this works. I'm kind of wondering where these two are shooting at, but all right, I can work with that. All right, hey, there's some context. All right, good. I can work with this. We're off to a good start. So for our first stab at a comic book, we're moving along nicely. All right, so in this case, comic page 3. Panel 2, E, panels 2, 3, 4. Let's see if I can get it to make all of those panels in just one go. This way I can just have it done smoother and we can move this process along. So let's see how Nano Banana Pro does. I'm really curious to see how far we can get with this episode. All right, so right now I did a lot of the front end work for this particular podcast by kind of crafting and writing out what I want the story to look like, what the characters are going to look like, the overall action. So the story and like the intent from it was already pre-written out from some thoughts I had. I asked my wife a few more details about like how she wants to be able to see that world. I didn't tell her exactly what she was designing, but She helped me come up with something. All right. Oh, interesting. All right. Let's take a look. The truck's bed was a firing line. Okay. There's zombies ahead. I'll accept that. That's good enough, but they're still shooting backwards. The specials went down first, so the super fast running on two legs. I can work with this. This is a good image. The medic in the aftermath. Ashley kept the guns fed. Cool. I'm happy with that. I don't know why people got off the truck and are now shooting across the bridge. They left a road of dead behind them. Cool. The truck looks wildly different now, but I can work with it. Either way, it's a decent first stab at it. I'll have to try and solve the continuity problems later. All right, so we're pretty good into this comic book already. Tell you what, I'm gonna have it fix the continuity for the image too. It needs to have an open truck bed and have Daniel Johnson. All right. Asking it to try image 2 again because I still wasn't very happy with that one. But good news is we're getting close to the end of this comic book design. So let's go back to the prompts. So page 4, aftermath and cleanup. Panels 1 through 5. All right. All right, sweet. So after it's done, okay. All right, that came out even weirder, but all right. So let's go ahead and just submit this one and have it try and generate images for the page 4 for lines 1 through 5. But I do appreciate that, in fact, that it's giving narrative. Like, so if you look in the top of these texts, like Ashley kept the guns fed, they left a road of dead behind them. Wow. All right, I'll work with it. There we are, and there's a big pile of dead bodies and a whole bunch more coming behind them. Let's see what the final ones come out to look like. Silence. Joel Saf. I Juan de Cor. Joel Joseph. Yeah, it does not translate text very well. Yeah. Let me just, I'm going to have it just do it one panel at a time. All right, so I'm going to have it do not include any text boxes except for the story narrative. Please generate images of page 4, panel 1. I'm going to try it again. Panel 2, as soon as it generates panel 1. So this way I can have a better shot of trying to get a more cohesive story. So let's find out how it does. All right, that is a nice big pile of dead zombies. All right, panel 2. Get ready for panel 3. Yeah, this is... What? What have you done, Gemini? You give me a sad bear rock. That does not make any sense to me. All right, so I'm going to have Gemini try again after I give it a little bit of a scolding. Let me go back up to what it says, panel, like page 4, panel 3. All right, cool. All right, let's try it this way. Yeah, I'm going through. Let me try and get panel 4. All right. All right, cool. And then we'll go to panel 5 after this. So cool, submit in here, and then I'm gonna go ahead and all right. What the fuck is that? Oh my goodness. So Gemini just like hard broke, I think. Like I have no idea what it's trying to generate, but it's not. Okay, this came out with something. Yeah, for some reason it's trying, that one page is just a wild mess. Let's find out what the final one is. Yeah, that'll work. All right, now I got to figure out how to solve this one. All right, I'm going to go back and get the description for page 4, panel 3. Generate an image of page 4. Page 4, panel 3. If it doesn't want to do it this time, I'm going to have to find some other way to be able to describe it. Just to be able to make it generate an image of that. All right, so let's see how it goes. Come on. You can. I don't understand. All right. Somehow it's not. It just, Gemini just does not like Johnson. That's the conclusion I've come to. All right, generate an image of Johnson standing next to Joel, standing in the back of the snow plow, holding his ears with both hands. All right, to make sure I'm clear with this, his own ears, because it might have Johnson holding Joel's ears. That'd be really awkward. He has a pained expression on his face. All right, let's find out. Now, curious if it's going to try and use a picture of my friend Johnson, or if it's going to actually just come up with like Boris Johnson or something. Who knows? Let's find out. Well, you've got two dudes that look the exact same. All right, so I'm going to give it some more instructions on how to change this up. Oh my goodness. So we've got basically all the images that I want generated are now. Oh my God. I really don't understand how Gemini is coming up with this type of art. Like, I really don't get it. Like all right. So I will work with what I've got. Okay, so let's go through. Let's go ahead and save all the images. I'm going to go ahead and save it to the podcast folder. So I'm going to go scroll up till I can get my first image. So we'll go ahead and start these off one at a time. So, like, I'm personally happier with Grok, but let's see. Now these two, I'm going to go ahead and save this image. I'm going to go ahead and put you over in AI Laboratory, episode 2. We'll call this 1. All right, I'm going to go through and I'll go ahead and save this one. I'm going to go ahead and save this image. We'll call this one 2. All right. Yeah, based out of this one, I think I'll take this one. 3. All right, so I'll actually call this like 1-3. And I'll rename these other ones. So we'll call this one 1-1, page 1, comic 1, page 1, comic 2. And I'll call this one 1-3. All right, so got my third one. Let's see, out of the 2 styles, which one do I like more? This one, look, the truck looks completely backwards. So we're going to go ahead and go with this one. Save image as 1-4. And now we'll go with, oh, actually, that was actually like 2-1. So this will be 2-2. All right, this one's actually got the right, better appropriate for the image. All right, so 2-2. The continuity is pretty bonkers, but all right. Let's see. I'm kind of driving away from the bridge, which is not what I want, but all right, cool. I'll go with this one. 2-3. I'll go with this one. Save as 2-4. Boy, this is going to be an interesting comic that just does not like to behave. So we didn't like either of these ones. Did not like that one. This one I could probably work with. But I think we switched over to Gemini at this point. All right, so Gemini came up with this one. This one's better. I'm going to go ahead and download this one. Oh, no. All right, well, I'll just download the rest of them this way. Download you. I think we redid this again. All right, so download you. Yeah, that came out wildly wrong. Download you and download you. And then we'll go ahead and download you. And then I had the big problem with Johnson. And it just couldn't generate the right things. So let me go ahead and quickly go grab the files from my downloads. I'll move those over into the... All right. Now, next question is, what order does this stuff go in? I'm going to go scroll back up, and I'm going to try and rename these files so I can keep them in a proper order. All right, so I finished up with 2-3, 2-4. All right. 3-1. Save that. And let's see what happens after here. We get the fast runner. I'll go 3-2. Where are you? 3-2. I've got 3-2 saved. I've got the second strip. I'll go at 3-3. And Ashley's reloading. There's a big pile of dead behind. And then skipping the death part, we'll go 3-4 on the bridge. There's 5. All right. There's 6. All right, so I've got a whole bunch of pictures now saved. We have enough to generate our comic book. Okay, and all right, so I've got all the pictures downloaded. So short summary, we've already had Grok and Gemini generate a number of videos for us to match up with the whole content, the full story of it. Continuity is pretty bad. The art style keeps shifting a little bit, but it's enough to be able to actually have a first draft of a product that I could say, like, look, let's refine this up. All right, Pixar did not work for us. Leonardo tapped out after 3 pictures, which is unfortunate. And now let's go ahead and actually try and finish up this project. Let's go into Canva. So Canva comes up with a variety of templates, things that you can create, posters, resume, Instagram posts, like YouTube thumbnails for different things. So right now we're going to look for comic books. All right, comic book templates. All right, so I've got comic book templates. Let's see. Blank 4-panel comic strip. Yeah, sure. I'm going to go ahead and take this. Customize this template. All right, so we'll go ahead and make this our first one. Now, if I can start importing pictures. Comment, lock, duplicate, delete, more. Now, how do I actually get this darn picture into here? All right, uploads, upload files. Right, upload folders, create a folder. We'll call this one the comic book. Comic book version 1. All right, so I've got comic book. Let's go ahead and upload some files. All right, so let me go and just see if I can just drag all these files over. Just gonna click and drag and drop this bad boy into here. Sweet. Uploading a whole bunch. Great. That's actually pulling the data quite nicely. All right, looks like it's finishing the downloads. Oh, one of them did not take. It's okay. I'll just hit retry. Let me just refresh, make sure it's got my files. Comic book, I got 14 items. I got 15 items selected. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to rearrange this. First up, I've got the image of Tavia, and we'll go put her in here first. All right, let's see. How does this bad boy go? Hey, Tavia. I don't think this one actually pulled over. I'm dropping the other picture. Yeah, some of the stuff did not quite transfer over properly. I'll go ahead and throw this one in here. I might have to actually modify this some more. Yeah. Uh-oh. And it's not necessarily the most intuitive when it comes to like the format and structure of things. Let's pull this off the side. All right, now I've got this set up. Let's go ahead and pull this over here, shrink to wrap, and pull you down. All right. Go ahead and wrap you around here. Modify our image shape. Cool. Set you up there, pull you down, and then wrap you up, and we'll keep that inside the comic. Great. So let's go ahead and we'll duplicate this page. All right, cool. We'll throw in 1-3. And then 1-4. Looks like everything is in like a vertical style template, so it's not exactly the way I was imagining it to go, but that's all right. We'll make it work. Stretch you out over here. Make you a little bit larger. All right, cool. Now we got them in the compound. Go ahead and duplicate page again. Go ahead and delete these photos. Place them with the next one, which is going to be black and white truck steamrolling away. All right, so here's our first one. Oh, God. And we'll have our second one off here. All right, so it's not super comic booky style because I'm used to having like multiple panes with multiple things in it, but there's definitely a little bit of there. Like you can definitely see that it's got the inner pane here that helps make it more comic book style. I'm still laughing a little bit because it looks like there's zombies in the back of the snowplow, and the snowplow looks different in every single picture, but that's all right. I'm not terribly worried about that. Let's see. Go ahead and add another page. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this again. This way I can have more of a frame of reference. All right, so we've got the black and white, so we'll go ahead and get our 2-4 in. And then got 3-1. Oh, this one's actually, hang on a minute. All right, 3-1, we're heading towards the bridge. All right. Cool. So I've got something actually to work with differently. So like the style's changing, which is totally good for me. Shift up the way the story is being presented. And then make it probably fit another one in here. Because I think we just shifted over to Gemini actually presenting the content. So that's all right. All right, let me go shuffle this bad boy up here. Pull you off to the side, format it just a little bit better. All right, cool. I've got something to work with. All right. We're coming along now. Now we're cooking. Let me go ahead and duplicate this page. I'm gonna go and replace some of these. And let's see what comes up next. What happens next in the story? So we just finished up with the shooting on the bridge. All right. Ashley's keeping them fully loaded. Let's see. Got you coming up here. What came after this guy? Got the whole bridge smoking. All right, so let's start off with here. Then we'll end up with here. And we'll have it focused around. We'll make you come to front. Layer, bring forward. All right. I'm going to use shape slightly differently. Cut you off here. All right, so now Joel's deaf. Poor dude. All right. Let's go ahead and add another page in. See what happens after he goes deaf. What else did I have here? All right. This guy's deaf. Johnson's deaf too. Tavia is going to be out here having a great old time. Saying that we got to get going. And next, we're going to go ahead and ride off into the sunset. Okay. There we go. This is actually pretty nice. Pretty nice. Taking a minute. Let's see. We'll go ahead and take down the top a little bit. We'll drag you up here. Now I'm going to actually make this a somewhat decent comic. All right. Now I just got to be able to start adding in some of the notes and context. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at this bad boy. So we've got a story. It's revolving around a couple different characters using a variety of different art styles, which is hilarious. Like, that's not how you carry ammo, but good enough. Thanks, Grok, for your not attention to physics, but good enough for me. I'm really curious how this hood's coming off, but whatever. I love the stonework background. It feels like I'm in prison. All right, cool. Characters moving along. All right. Nice. Grok is generating intelligible text. Gemini did not do that. I'm surprised that there's no driver in here and there's nobody in the back, but good enough for now. Yeah. All right. I think we've got ourselves a solid, actual comic book story with what's going on here. Granted, there's plenty of continuity items that are really just intellectually make you go, what? But that's all right. We at least have a first draft comic book already created in basically in under an hour. So kind of a recap review. So we started off using Grok, and we went through trying to come up with a prompt to be able to help use a different AI chat program. Uploaded a couple different real photos to try and make those the baseline characters, which it kind of sort of did. But I think it basically just took and made its own physical description and then just ran with the physical description and ignored the pictures from that point forward. So a little bit disappointing on the continuity. So Grok will have some continuity of storytelling and the image generation. But as for trying to keep a continuity of a specific character appearance or the appearance of your snowplow, not so helpful. But otherwise, it actually does generate a variety of really good quality images, and you can give it more instructions on how to recreate or reattack the problem. So for a baseline story for something that you're trying to pitch as a I would use this as kind of like a storyboard. Like if I'm going to create a movie or try and have some actors run through something, like this would help shape the image in my partners, my friends' minds when it comes to how I want to be able to present a scenario to go act or film or something like that. Or at the very least, as the initial point for how you build and refine a comic book art piece. So like this is good enough for now. So Grok did a pretty decent job what I was asking for, except for the free version kind of ran out and said, hey, you need to upgrade before you can do any more. All right, Gemini, it came in handy pretty well. It does not do text. You don't ask Gemini to use words because as you can see here, aside from silence, it just started making up completely gibberish. And it of course, has no continuity of characters. It does do some actually pretty decent artwork. So it's the trucks flying by. There's bullets whizzing from behind, and after it hits the full bullet casings. All right, so thanks Gemini for missing out on a few things. But all right, still it's generating a really solid first draft. But either way, so what after we did with that, we tried to use PicsArt, and I don't know this tool well enough to actually be able to produce and input things. I imagine this collage tool would be pretty good, but I don't think it's able to convert an image directly into it. I'd have to generate an image, save that image, and then import it this way. So it wasn't going to do what Leonardo was doing, and it definitely didn't do what Grok or Gemini was able to do. So maybe PicsArt can, but I just haven't figured that part out yet. It's really brand new to me. For Leonardo, it was really great, really high detailed stuff. However, this is the front of the snowplow. I don't know how close to reality this is because I've never removed a snowplow, but I don't think this makes a lot of sense. And yeah, it only was able to get 3 images before it just ran out. So I'm a little bit disappointed. Leonardo probably is pretty useful, but for the first stab at it, I'm kind of disappointed. Let's see. For the comic book strips, I was actually very pleased with getting Canva to actually do the job. So Canva was able to actually create and generate this thing. Let's go ahead and export this. Let's go ahead and save this bad boy as a PDF. So let's go ahead and get this thing generated. We can try and get some text added to it, but that'll be probably for another day's project. I don't feel like boring you guys with me adding text to yeah, I could easily add text in here, but yeah, I'd just have to spend some time fiddling around trying to get it so that it actually present a text box properly. But for now, we're going to leave that part out. Let's go ahead and produce this as a PDF. All right, so let's download. Let's go ahead and that's for documents and pages 1 through 6. It's good. No password protection. And let's go ahead and download. Let's before I wrap up the episode, let's actually see if it produces the PDF in the style that I want. All right, cool. I think we're doing it. I think we got it. So thank you, Canva. You've made a comic book. Not a bad first draft. So excellent. Like this is a really solid first try going through it. I can totally go back through and start editing the text. I'm probably going to show this to my friends and family, just say, hey, look what I fiddled around and found out with. So yeah, there's a couple things that went really well. Like Grok really stepped it up and actually kind of impressed me when it came to the artwork style. It did overall pretty good until it ran out of free content. So basically I just hit my limit. Gemini did an okay job, just I can't rely on it for text. And for some reason, it does not like Johnson. It wants to give me a potted bear rock something. So Gemini's got some of its own quirks, but either way, all the different models, they have their strengths, they have their weaknesses, but you have to play around with it. If you're using the free version, don't be surprised when you get the free version results. For a future episode, I'll have to come back and try and revisit this to try and really bring out continuity of characters, of images, of the snowplow itself. I'll definitely have to make that go around. I was not pleased with PicsArt. I just don't know the tool well enough to make it useful. For Leonardo.ai, it was just disappointing that I could only get 3 images out of the free version. So that's a little bit disappointing. But Canva really stepped up with the templates for the comic books, and it came out quite nicely. So yeah, thank you very much, everybody. If you enjoyed this podcast, please like and subscribe. leave a comment. If you are interested in actually having me come and try and attack one of your problems, go ahead and go into the video description. You'll find a link to my Google Forms. Type in all the information you have for your question, what exactly you want me to solve. If I like it, I'll send you an invite so you can come to join me live on this podcast, and we'll try and solve the problem together right there on the spot. Anyway, thank you very, very much for coming out. This has been a fantastic little experiment for me. I've enjoyed the successes and failures of it. So thanks for taking your time, and like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.